Hey everyone, it's Cassie Zeider. I just wanted to follow up. I know we talked last night about the Platinum Edge and my experience there, and I kind of wanted to do another presentation similar and just kind of give those who weren't able to be on the call some of this information as well. So I wanted to start off by saying the Platinum Edge experience is truly one of the best things that you could do for your business. I can't tell you, well, I'll tell you a story. So a month ago, I was feeling very overwhelmed. I had an unexpected bill come up, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what we're going to do. Like, we don't have the extra money to pay for things like this when things happen. Okay, so we have money in savings, but I don't like to pull from savings to pay for stuff like that because I think that when I put money in savings, it's to save it. So Brett and I started discussing if I should get another job or if I should start thinking about the possibility of me getting another job to make more money for our family. I was kind of getting really depressed over it. I was really anxious. I already have those tendencies anyway. If I'm not taking care of myself, I had slacked on working out and stuff. So whatever it is, I wasn't taking care of myself. So I knew I had this Platinum Edge experience coming up, and I was feeling guilty because it was going to cost more money to go to it, and it's tax write-off. But anyway, in my head, I was trying to justify it. So I went to the Platinum Edge. I was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to have a good time. So many great things happened from this experience. I met and got to know my roommate, Diane Vanderbrink, who now I believe is going to be a lifelong friend. I was surrounded by the energy of other coaches, and people just, it's amazing what will happen when you surround yourself with people that have the same passion and are as like-minded as you are. Just being in the same room with them does something to you. It refuels you almost. And then, obviously, hearing Chalene Johnson and Natalie Jill and Bo Eason and Jenelle Summers and Christine Dwyer and all of the other coaches speak and give us tips and secrets and all that stuff. There really is no secret, but just giving us all of their information and breaking it down for us and hearing things in a new way really does refuel you. So Platinum Edge every year in November. Christine Dwyer, make sure you're on the newsletter list for the Platinum presenters, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to talk to you guys today a little bit about attraction marketing and branding. And this is kind of a mix between two presentations. One was with Jenelle Summers and one was with Chalene Johnson. And then I'm going to go over some quick fire hot list tips from other topics that I think could be useful to you as well. So I'm going to start with my Beachbody accolades. I probably don't know a lot of you personally, or if I do, great. Maybe you don't know these things anyway. I started as a coach in October of 2010. I am a Success Club 5 All-Star as of December. So I already hit Success Club in October, so it will be in 2012 and 2014 as long as I hit Success Club again in December, and I bet I will. My lifetime rank is Diamond. I'm a Diamond coach, or I guess I'm an Emerald coach right now, but my lifetime rank is Diamond. And I earned a free Success Club trip to Disney that was completely paid for. I just had to get there in 2013. I've also now already earned the Cancun trip as well, so I'm on the wait list to go to that. I've attended 2 summits, and they are truly life-changing as well. So I just want to kind of give you a little background on my story, and it's really for me to practice and for you to get to know me. So I consider myself one of those people that never really fit in. I was kind of awkward. I didn't really have a lot of good social skills in middle school and the beginning of high school, really throughout high school. I had friends from every circle is kind of how I explain it. I was a jock, so I played sports, and, I was fairly decently smart, I did my homework at least and completed things, and that basically gets you a good grade if you are doing the work you need to do. But I never really fit in. I was always that person that I got along better with people that were older than me, and I still do sometimes. I don't know why that is, but but it was really hard on me in middle school and the first part of high school because I didn't really have a social group. And as I'm sure you can imagine, or maybe you've experienced as well, not having that social group or that social outlet is really hard at that age, especially when you don't get along with your parents so much or you're trying to figure yourself out. So I kind of used sports as my like social area throughout middle school and high school. And when I got to college, I didn't have sports anymore. So I kind of picked up partying. And so I really partied hard my first 2 years of college and gained some weight because of that. I no longer had sports, so I wasn't active. And, as well as I do, is when you party a little bit too hard, you don't feel like doing anything the next day. So, gained some weight, gained about 25 pounds in my junior year. My boyfriend at the time and I decided, okay, like we need to do something about this. Like, I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel like I look good. I don't have any confidence. And I just wanted to change. I was at that point, that point when you feel like this is it. This is all I want to go. And I need to do something about it. So ironically, at that time, I was working for the YMCA, so I had free access to fitness classes. And my group of coworkers were starting a Biggest Loser challenge. You know me at all. I'm a pretty competitive person. I love to win. Sorry. I just love to win. I love quick wins or wins that I can control. So I decided when I signed up for this and I put my money in the pot that I was going to win this money. So I went to work. I started tracking my calories. I started going to these fitness classes and testing out to see what I liked. Just so happened in this fitness class, it was Zumba, by the way, and I really had to be talked into going to Zumba because I am not a dancer. Even the instructor, Geraldine, even said, yeah, you do more of the athletic version of Zumba, and that's probably her way of nicely saying, you suck, but whatever, it's okay, I owned it. So I started working out. I met Geraldine. She gave me a packet of Shakeology, and I literally dumped the packet into a bottle of water and shook it up after a Zumba class one day, and I loved it. It tasted good. I didn't really feel the effects of the energy or anything because I hadn't been eating well at the time, but I could tell that this was something I wanted to try and I wanted to look into more. So I went online, started looking into it, ended up signing up as a coach and said, I just want to get this discount and try it the first month and see how I feel. So within a week of that happening, I had met with Geraldine in her house, and she kind of explained some of the coaching aspects of it in our Getting Started Right call. And I was like, this could be something I would be interested in. If I lose the weight and I really like this stuff and I want to continue to get the discount anyway, I might as well get my shakes paid for. So within a week, I became Emerald, and I just continued to share it with people. And it really wasn't anything that I had a job at the time, so I was just like, oh, this is cool. It's paying for my shakes. So fast forward a year later, I went to Summit that next year, and so that was 2012. At the time, my job was a little shaky. I didn't have the best managers, or they didn't make me feel the best, I guess. I loved what I did, but it wasn't really the best fit for me. So after Summit, I was blown away by the experience. I came home, and in one day, I quit my full-time job. I moved home with my parents, and I broke up with my boyfriend of 3 years, all in one day. All happened on one day. Needless to say, I was a little depressed. I was unsure of what I was going to do with my life. I felt a lot of guilt for quitting my job and not really having a backup plan and having to go basically mooch off my parents. And I was like, what am I going to do? And so I did the only thing I had at the time, which was Beachbody. And so I really started organically reaching out and doing the activities every single day. And I loved it. I loved doing that every day. And so I started to feel better. I worked out more consistently, and I ended up reconnecting with my boyfriend now, Brett. And we ended up fast tracking, moving in together. And within 5 months, I was pregnant. And fast forward again, now I'm a new mom to an 8-month-old and trying to really balance staying at home with her and finding how Beachbody fits in for us. And so, like I said in the story before, I really was not wanting to get a job. And so I really have to focus now on being more of a leader and building my team and helping my team be successful. And then that allows me to do what I love, which is help others and work from home and stay with my baby. So that's kind of my story. I hope, we connect a little bit that way, and I can teach you some things about what I learned at the Platinum Edge with attraction marketing and branding. So this was the part by Jenelle Summers. And she talked about how one of the first steps that she has as a coach is to make sure, or that she has her coaches do, is to have them reach out and just start connecting with everyone they know. Connect with, and by connecting, I mean reaching out and talking to people. Go on Facebook and just start conversations with, basically make a list of your Facebook people and start conversations with all of them. If you have Facebook friends that you aren't comfortable reaching out to, maybe that's when you should start building that relationship. And I'm not saying go talk to them about Beachbody. I'm saying go say, hey, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? I haven't talked to you in a while. What's happened since we last talked, or whatever, just have conversations. Because when you are a new coach and you're reaching out to those people, you can get to the rank of diamond by just talking to your warm market, or the people you already know and the people that already know, like, and trust you. Now, once you get to diamond, and I know I've struggled with this a couple times, just holding my diamond, is once you get to diamond, you have to really start focusing on attraction marketing and branding. And so you need to, I'm hoping to teach my new coaches to start this process as a new coach, so that when they get to diamond, they already have that kind of going for them, where they're already being looked to as a healthy person or a healthy lifestyle liver, where other people will want to come to them for advice. So branding is important because it makes you unique. You really want to teach others the lessons you have learned in life, and that way they will relate to you. People have to know how to relate to us. So by teaching them those things and just being you, be you times two. So being you boldly is how I envision that, and not being scared of being judged, of being you. I think that that's really hard for some people, and it's a little uncomfortable, but I think it's really important. So why branding is important? Branding is important because we all of us, as Beachbody coaches, are health and fitness coaches. We all want to be healthier and live healthier. We all sell the same products. We all use the same promotions. We all have the same challenge groups that we run. It might have a different flair, but it's all the same. So what is it that makes you stand out? What makes you different? And so a couple of the things that Jenelle talked about is, what's the one story that you don't want anyone to know about? What did you learn from that? And how can you share with others how you dealt with it, or how you got through that? What you offer is 100% you. What is unique in coaches that makes you stand out? You remember, people buy from and perform well from people they know, like, and trust. Continue to show your coaches appreciation and respect as you build a team as well. So you definitely want to be you times two, so people are attracted to you, and then continue to appreciate and respect those people in your life. You want to learn to tell your story. And I'm going to put a little side note in here. One of the things we learned from the keynote speaker, Bo Eason, that I thought was very interesting, and I'd never heard this before, was that they've done all this research, and I'm not big on remembering like how this came about, but I just know that he had facts behind this. But the storyteller is going to be the #1 paid person in our century. So telling your story is important. We really need to be out there telling our story, showing our progress, showing how we live. And that's going to attract people to us. So when you're telling your story, you want to make sure you tell people your why before you tell them how, because everyone wants to know how to do it, right? But why is it that we want to do what what it is that we know how to do. So you want to tell why. So for example, if I'm telling a story about, like I just did a video about toning, I explained why toning is important before I explained how to tone. And I think just breaking that down, and even in a 1-minute video or something like that, is useful to other people. And so when you're telling your story, whatever it is, obviously you're telling your personal story, not how to tone. But you want to make sure when you're writing it out or you're putting out content to social media or talking to people, you get used to telling your why before you tell how. So again, I just want to reiterate that people will buy from and perform well with people they know, like, and trust. So we're attracting people like us. So you really want to be you boldly so that you're attracting people that you like and you know and you trust. Even, you might not know them right off the bat, but you get to know them. So your brands. I want you to take a second and pause this video, and after I go through the slide, and pick 3 to 5 things about you that's different than anyone that's just a Beachbody coach. What makes you stand out? And write them down. And I want you to come up with content for those 3 things. And I want you to start posting every day one of those different 3 to 5 topics. And then I want you to just start rotating them so people get to know you. You don't have to recreate content all the time. Just post something that hasn't been posted for 6 weeks, because not everyone on Facebook saw what you posted. So you don't have to continue to recreate this content. Save it in a Word document, upload it to Evernote or Google Drive, and repost the same stuff. It works. Trust me, I've been doing this for a while. And then be sure to positively portray your character, your style, your images, how you lead your life, your priorities, how you treat others, your passion, your consistent messaging, how you carry and respect yourself, and your communication with others. This is really important. Why is this important? Because you're trying to attract people like you. You want good people on your team. You want good people in your challenge groups. You don't want to portray the wrong message, because you're going to get the wrong people. So just remember that when you're thinking about your brand and what it is you want to be known for. The most attractive brand, Jenelle said, is packaged well, relatable, trustworthy, likable, and is in front of the most people consistently. So defining your brand. Again, I want you to kind of do these steps as you are watching this video. So go ahead and pause after I talk about this. Step 1 is identify your story and your niche. And you're probably going to have multiple stories, and that's okay. And what I recommend doing is just putting them on video, because if you put them on video, you don't have to continue to create things and continue to spend time doing your story. It's already out there. Make a blog post. Make a YouTube video, and then send people to your story. Send people to those things so you don't have to continue doing it. And then figure out what your niche is. And so, for example, my niche is new moms who struggle with losing the baby weight right now. And my niche has changed over the years. That's something that I'm personally going through right now and that I struggle with, so I can relate to others. You see how that kind of works? It really depends on the area of life you're in. It used to be, for me, it used to be college students who gained weight and haven't lost their freshman 15. As I go through life, my niche is going to change, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean that I still don't have content out there for college students who need to lose weight as well. So step number 2 is make sure when you're writing out your story, because I want you to write it out first, is don't give too many details. Because what happens is when you're telling your story, people are thinking about, while you're telling it, how it relates to them. So if you give too many details, they're going to get bogged down and they're not going to really care much about what it is you have to say, or maybe they won't watch the whole video or read the whole post. You really want to make sure that it's focused on how it can be relatable to someone you don't know and get someone to follow you. Step number 3 is ask others how they describe you. So once you've gone through and you have your story, you've kind of tweaked it, and you make sure there's not too many details in there, you really think about what your niche or your target market wants to learn about, go through and ask. You can ask me, you can ask your coach, ask them to go through your Facebook page or your YouTube page and ask them what they get to be, or what they look at your page and see what your brand is, and see if that relates to what you want your brand to be, and then compare those two things. And if you have questions about that, let me know, and I can discuss that further. Step number 4 is determine what you've gone through that you've learned something from and can teach others to do. We kind of talked about that earlier. And step 5 is to brainstorm what you can do to convey your story. So some ideas that I had were blog posts, videos, YouTube videos obviously are good. Podcasts, if that's something you're interested in. Posts on social media, pictures, whatever it is that you want to do, you can be creative with that as well. So this is kind of some hard facts that Jenelle talked about. Branding and attraction marketing, they're not always free or convenient. And one example she had of that is to possibly hire a photographer for an hour and have professional marketing content or pictures done, and you would have those marketing materials for a quarter of the year, and it could cost you maybe $60. And so it's something that I think kind of shifted how my brain works, because I have taken all of my Beachbody income and I need that money to pay my bills. But what I'm realizing is the more I invest in myself and my business, the more my business will grow and the less I'll have to worry about paying those bills. So maybe that $60 that I might spend on something that I maybe could, budget out a little better. If I invested that in myself and my business, then it could really help my business as well, because it looks more professional and it attracts more people. So here's some actions to help form your brand. To the next page. Just remember that it takes courage and confidence and a desire to help others that is bigger than being judged. And I know this gets a little uncomfortable for some people, and I was definitely uncomfortable when I started out. But really know that what you've gone through can really help other people, and know that maybe a couple people judging you for telling your story, it's okay. There's a reason they're judging you, and maybe they can't relate to your story, but there's going to be 3 to 10 times more people that can relate to your story and that are going to know, like, and trust you, that you can reach out to. So another thing is to do the work they don't see. Put your priorities first and make tough decisions. Make this a lifestyle. Make sure you're doing your workouts, drinking your shake, and eating clean. And definitely make sure you're doing that in front of those people that you're trying to get to know, like, and trust you. So show that on social media. Make decisions that negatively impact you, but it's the right thing to do. An example that Jenelle gave with that is that she, or that if you have a coach, if you have a coach that's going through a tough time, maybe a divorce or something, and they really just need to step back and take a month to focus on their family, it wouldn't help you directly, but tell them that that's okay for them to do that, because it's the right thing to do for them, and that's the right thing to do as a person. Personal development, so important. And this was an aha moment for me at the Platinum Edge. It was Jenelle said, and I want to get this right, so I'm going to read it. If you feel blank and you don't know what to post, you're basically not doing your personal development every day. Because if you're doing your personal development consistently, you're going to have content just from what you learned that day in whatever you read or listen to. So if you struggle with, I don't know what to post, you need to take a serious look at your personal development. And personal development was the number one thing that you could do for your business. Every top coach said that they immerse themselves in personal development. They're continuously learning and growing. And so that is so important. So I ask you, what are you reading right now? What are you listening to? How is it making you better? How can you share what you're learning and you're listening and you're growing with others to help them as well? You want to post consistently with messaging and images. Consistently express who you are and your beliefs. So this is in your consistent messaging. You want to show your progress of your work. So your before and after pictures from your workouts. And you want to basically say like, hey, I'm starting PIO. Here's my before picture. And in 60 days, or maybe even progress pics along the way, this is my progress. This is how I've been going so far, and show your after picture. You want to engage with people and not lecture them. And I know, and I'm sure that some of you are type A just like me, that I'm very direct and to the point, and this is how it should be done, blah, 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 blah. And I need to get better at telling my story and engaging with people and asking, how do you feel about that? Instead of saying, this is what you need to do. I need to be vulnerable. I need to be authentic. I need to do better at that. And I'm sure that that's something that we all can learn a little bit about. So here's my little quick fire hot tips before I get into Chalene's content strategy and topics. These are some things, just some quick, 6 things that that I really thought of, or 5, because I see that my personal development is on there again. One thing that I learned was that you really kind of, your invitation process should go like this. Meet someone, add them on Facebook, form them, so get to know them, and you could be forming them for a good 6 months before you invite them to a free group. And they could do that free group 3 to 5 times before you then invite them. And you're continuously inviting them to go into like the 21-day fix group, because that's the best place to start for beginners. And then you eventually want to continue to invite them to that 21-day fix group until they want to become a coach for the discount, or just to build a business, or get into Coach Basics, or whatever that is. I thought that was an interesting process, and it's what I've been doing, but I think just hearing them say it was something that really, oh yeah, that's not hard to do. So you definitely, Geraldine talked about this last night, you want to add 3 to 5 new people each day and form them immediately. Forming is the key to success. It's funny, I heard this, Scotty Hobbs and Tommy Migrant came to Indianapolis and talked about this 3 years ago, and it just clicked. Like, it just clicked this year. So I'm telling you, the more you hear this stuff, the more you will kind of process it and understand how it works. I want you to write down your goals daily. And these goals, you want to have big goals, but you want to have small daily goals that you just want to accomplish. And the reason I want you to write it down daily is because when you write it down and you put that pen to the paper, your mind subconsciously is already working towards those goals. So you're going to be more likely to do the things that you need to do to reach that. One thing I didn't get to cover much last night because we were in such a hurry is that there was let me see if I can actually find the wording that they used. Okay, so I won't be able to because there's so much to do, so much to look through on this. So I think it was Andrea Crowder, who's a great coach to follow. I know she has YouTube videos as well. She posts on Facebook free drawing Shakeology 7-day raffle for anybody who sends me your goals to, and then she puts her email address. Simple post, that's it. And she gets new contacts, and like you put that out there and people send you your goals, and then you have all of those people that send you your goals to talk to about Shakeology, no matter who you give the 7-day free raffle drawing to. So I thought that was interesting. There's an ABC process for after a challenge group is complete. So say you have someone into the 21-day fix challenge group, and the 21-day fix challenge group is ending. You post, which one are you going forward, A, B, or C? And A is someone who participates in another group just like this. B is someone who wants a discount on the product. And C is someone who wants to pay it forward and is not opposed to making money while you help others. I thought that was really good wording, and I hope that can help you as well. Obviously, personal development, they drove this home. And another thing that I just remembered that was like probably the number one thing that Chalene Johnson talked about was make sure you have a schedule and you're sticking to that schedule. So you're scheduling when you will be doing your work hours every day. So let me get to now Chalene's content strategy and topics. So there's 12 types of posts that Chalene kind of breaks down for you and recommends you doing. Let me see if there's something that was before that I thought was interesting. Okay, so before that, she has 5-step social media strategy. And this isn't on the PowerPoint, so you're going to have to listen. So the first step is your invitation, and you want to smile, be friendly, have eye contact. And one way you can practice this is just saying hi more at the grocery store to people you don't know. You're doing the same thing on Facebook when you private message them, but that communication in person is a skill that you need to be starting to develop. So make sure you reach out to someone and say, hey, those are really cool shoes. Where'd you get them? Or hi, how are you? I really like your shoes. Just wanted to let you know. Just start talking to random people. I know it's a little weird and a little uncomfortable at first, but it gets to be normal. And people, I mean, communication is a lost art. You need to bring this back. It's really important. So step one is, and I said invitation was a step one, but step one is goals. So you're looking for 10 people to go deep with. So who are you looking for? Who do you want to work with, and move them from social media to me, so in-person, video, or email. So basically what that means is you are looking for your 10 best friends, and you haven't met them yet, or if you have, then they should be a coach and they should be diamond, because your 10 best friends are going to be what make you successful in this business. So those are the things you want to write down for goals. Step two is destination. You have where you have control of them seeing your post every day. So 3 destinations would be your private Facebook group, your email list, or your private inbox group. Step 3 is your formula. So you want your people to know when to expect things from you. So how many times per day will you post? Step 4 is your schedule. When are you going to do your workouts? When are you doing your posts every day? When are you creating your content? People need to know, again, what to expect from you. Step number 5 is create your content. And this is where Chalene gets into the types of content, video, picture, blog, podcast, and then make sure that the type of content you are creating has your goal in mind as well. So the first one is share a resource or a tool. So this could be a alarm or, sorry. So my things that I came up with was like, things that have worked for you. So maybe a book or a podcast or a blog that you read and that could help other people. The next thing is entertaining. So if you guys don't know already, video crushes on Facebook right now. So anything that's entertaining that you can put on video is going to help your Facebook algorithm. And the better your Facebook algorithm is, the more people will see your posts. And the third thing is pedestal, or we call this kind of recognition. Who can you put up on a pedestal and just kind of recognize? Because I think people respect when you reach out and you say like thank you to other people. Number 4 is ask a question or a poll. And I think that this is important. You can ask a random one every now and again, but I think that you really want to make sure you're attracting the right people with those questions. Number 5 is upswing. So maybe you've had a bad day or something you've learned from a bad thing that's happened. It's okay to post about that. We don't want to be negative on social media, but it's okay for you to post something that's happened that is negative, as long as you post an upswing or something that has come out of it that's positive at the end of that post. Post things that save time and money to people. Frequently asked questions that you get. So one of the things that I did today, if you look on my wall, is a video about how to tone. And the 2 that Chalene posts about most are motivational posts and how to or systems. So how to eat clean, things like that. Gratitude post, this is who I am. So you really want to show who you are, your beliefs, your character, your values. And then she actually did post that say that you could do invitations as well. So when there's a really good deal on something, so like for example a challenge pack, it's okay to post that you have that's on sale, but make sure you tell someone the value behind that and why that there is that you're sharing this with them, that it's on sale. Don't just put challenge pack on sale, buy from me. Like that's not going to make someone know, like, and trust you. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up quickly because I just had a baby wake up from a nap. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching this. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, or YouTube. I'm not perfect. I'm learning and growing just like you are, and I would love your feedback at any time on any of my social media sites or something that you see that you like, and especially I really like to hear things that you didn't like because that will only helps me learn and grow. So thank you for your time, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.